Thank you very much, members of the fourth estate, and very importantly, the team from Radio Vuna and TV. I'm told you also on TV, on YouTube, for calling on us and to shed light on the current trends and perspectives. My name is Dennis Orioki, one of the opinion leaders from this county, and very importantly, a young person, a professional, and looking at the current trends, especially on the state ongoing appointments, parliamentary group and committee formations, we feel like as young people we need to say something especially to the leadership, both in parliament and those ones leading in various organizations or private sector and across board. Number one, as Omogusi, we feel like we are not represented well in all sectors of government, because look at parliamentary select committees, chairs, and especially state appointments which were recently made. And Omogusi seems to be getting a raw deal. We don't know why, but we feel like something somewhere is not working out. And we want to appeal to the leadership, both elected and not elected, to come out strongly and forge a way forward with a big team. But very importantly, we are concerned with the principal secretaries who were appointed recently. We had none from Omogusi region or Gusiland, and it's a going concern. Number two, the last few weeks or months, we had Okong Omogeni, the senator for Nyamira, raising concerns on the floor of the Senate, saying that Omogusi, from the ODM perspective, has gotten a raw deal, that nobody from Gusii region who has gotten a slot, both in Parliament, of a National Assembly, and the Senate. We are also suspecting that that could be the trend. The other coalition of parties is looking at if this side, maybe it's ODM, or the other Azimio coalition, they are giving Omogusi the raw deal, and the other side now, they have said, there is nothing these Kisii can do, Omogusi can do. We also need to get the same behavior the other side. So Omogusi is now an endangered species. Omogusi is now vulnerable. And if we don't talk about these things, take it from some of us that this thing hell will break loose, and things won't be any better. Omogusi will serve and will continue serving. So we are saying this. Both coalitions, if you are in Azimio, demand what is rightfully yours as Omogusi. And if you are in ODM or Kenya Kwanza, demand what is rightfully for us Omogusi. Ama namna gani? On the same spirit, Okong Omogeni could be able to raise a number of concerns, especially from the Gusii region. Majority voted Azimio. Ama namna gani? Quite a number of votes went to Azimio, but we are worried that in Azimio, even a mere committee chair, Omogusi cannot get. Then the other side, having seen that Azimio is not giving Omogusi anything, even in Parliament, we suspected they could also be looking at if Azimio is not giving this Gusii region anything, we can also decide we are not giving you anything. So it's a serious thing. And yesterday again, very importantly, we saw some leaders from Gusii region who are in Azimio or who are in ODM resigning and saying they are no longer in Azimio, in ODM. They will forge the way forward. If what they did is good for Omogusi, and if they felt like they were not, their views, or they asked for some position at the Parliamentary Service Commission or somewhere and they didn't get, if whatever they did is good for Omogusi, so be it. And we want to see them as individuals forging for their own thing. Let them do it for the sake of the community. Hallelujah. If you feel like you are a member of the county assembly and your community is not well represented, you have a right to resign or even threaten to resign. If we have members of parliament or if we have individual members of the party and that party is not doing well for your community, not you as an individual, for an individual we can compromise. Because it's not individual sake. But for a community, if you feel like your community is threatened, if you feel like your community is not interest is not taken care of, then you have a reason to come out in the open and say, hey, gentlemen, this thing is not working out. What do we do as a community? So what I'm saying, all these things that are happening, it replicates to the other. If Group A is not doing Omogusi the service he believes he can get, and they are doing a disservice, the other group will also say, hey, the other day you were not given anything, we'll also not give you anything here. So as a whole, as a community, we end up suffering. And then we need now to come up together as the leadership, forge the way forward. And then we unite ourselves so that we can demand and get respect. Because I want to believe people now, either coalition may not respect Omogusi because Omogusi seems to be fragmented. So if the other group is here and they are not feeling like Omogusi can be represented, and the other group feels like the other day this was done, they kept quiet, and this day we can also do this. It's like they are trying and testing waters. If this thing goes this way, we'll get ourselves into trouble. You know, the two leaders, one was a governor who served these 2 terms. Probably he was in Azimio, and he felt like now that Azimio did not win, things didn't go well, he can better off serve a community, the community elsewhere in a better way. Even in the party, even in the coalition party, I want to believe both Azimio and Kenya Kwanza, they have slots. We have parliamentary slots, we have investment committee, public accounts committee, quite a number of committees. So if there were members of parliament from Gusii region who didn't get even a slot, and you know, there is also East Africa Legislative Assembly where we are supposed to nominate 1 or 2. And for your information, Kisii or Gusii region has been getting a slot since time immemorial, has always been getting. And it has reached to some level that no Kisii will no longer get anything. You know, seemingly Governor Ngwaya and Ongera felt like it is no longer the ODM we used to know. Maybe it is the ODM or a different one. Or the Azimio they created, it has now changed because seemingly the Kisii region seems to be getting a raw deal. And this you can confirm. In as much as things are trying to work out, you know, they are getting some committees from some quarters, they also need to remember Omogusi. And as I said, we need to echo sentiments of Kongo Mogeni, what he said. Out of overwhelming support Azimio got from Gusii region, Omogusi cannot afford even a chair of a committee in parliament. This is serious. Perhaps that's the reason Ongwaya and Ongera felt like they don't want to be associated with a party which is not looking Omogusi well. Because at the position of a deputy national chairperson, Ongera, and Omogusi couldn't get in ODM, even a single chair of a committee in parliament, then she felt like she'll be doing a disservice. Perhaps she could be the one contributing Omogusi not to get. And that could be interpreted as the reason she decided to quit the party. That is my personal interpretation. But generally what I'm saying, Omogusi should come up together and decide his destiny. Otherwise, if they are going to be behaving as if nothing is happening, every time and again they will be mistreated.